And welcome back to the Kenny and JT Show here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. Hard to believe week one of high school football is in the books already, and that means, well, not only will Ken's top 10 be on WHBC.com, find out who my top 10 teams are, we have to announce our Sarchione Ford WHBC Player of the Week for week number one, and that goes to Central Catholic quarterback Jack Talktington, the 6'2", 225-pound junior. All he did in leading the Crusaders to that huge comeback win over arch rival Perry was throw for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns, run for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the game-winning 2-point conversion. And he joins us here on WHBC. Jack, thanks for making time. Congratulations on the big win and being named our Sarchione Ford Player of the Week.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
All right, take me back to the preparation for week one, game one. It's the Battle of 13th Street. You guys haven't beaten Perry since 2016. You're the leader of this team now in your junior year. Talk, I guess, about the preparation that went into this, and then we'll get into the game itself.
Preparation was hard, We've been spending months in summer and camp working for Perry week one. Coach Linda Smith always says that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It always is hard. Perry's a big, tough, physical team, hard to beat. And we had to execute because they're one of those teams where if you don't watch every move, they're going to get a big yard on you. They're going to get a touchdown. And preparation was hard. It was long, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, in the end, an exciting overtime win, 28-20. You guys fall behind 20-7, Jack. Yeah. How at that point is there no panic in week one? Very easily, it could have been a blowout, right? So how did you guys regroup and come back from a 20-7 deficit to force overtime and win it in OT?
It's hard to say, but we just got greedy, I'd say. Perry's been stomping on us for many years, the past years, so I think it's just our drive and will to beat them one year. Our receiver, Takai Wells, he gave a great speech at halftime, telling us that, we're only down by this much, we can still win. We got this. He's got to pull through. Yeah, he had a great speech, and he's one of our great leaders. And I think a lot of kids heard him and got encouraged and, really fought through it.
How about for you, though? You're the leader of the team. You play as a sophomore. You gain experience, a lot of ups and downs, but that comes, as a sophomore starting in Stark County at any high school, right? So how much did playing last year, getting a win in the playoffs, help you, though, as you were down 20-7 and leading this team back?
It helped me a lot. I had a whole year under my belt. I wasn't panicked. I knew just got to move the chains, keep getting first downs until we score. That helped a lot. I have my coaches, I can trust them, and they're just telling me it's all good, stay cool. I was like, yeah, I know. We got this. We can just go down there, drive, and score.
For you, did the game slow down from last year to this year? And tell us, for our listeners out there, what that means in football terms and why it makes such a big difference for a quarterback.
It slowed down a lot. It slowed down more than I thought it would. When the game slows down, it means every play isn't 100 miles per hour. Every play you know what to do, and you're reading the defense. You know exactly what to do with the ball, and it helped tremendously. I can't even explain it. It just slowed down a lot.
It's interesting. Sam Ratigliano, the former Cleveland Browns coach, used to explain it this way for a quarterback. He said, when you're young, inexperienced, the game looks like you're looking out the side window when you're driving a car at 80 miles an hour, right? You look out the side and everything flies by you so fast. But then when you get that experience, it looks like you're staring out the front window, the main windshield, right? And you can just see everything clearly, right? So it kind of something like that, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly correct. I remember last year, everything was just flying by, just flying. I didn't even really get a glimpse of it. But this year, it's just slowing down. And like that coach said, just looking at the front of your car, you see everything.
Jack Talkington, our guest here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. He is our Sarchione Ford Player of the Week for week number 1 in leading his Canton Crusaders, Central Catholic Crusaders, to a 28-20 overtime win over arch rival Perry. They come back from 20-7 down. They rally. They get the win. And let's go to overtime then, Jack. You guys tie it. Could have won it maybe in regulation, but, things happen. And an injured kicker obviously played into that. So you go to overtime. You get the first possession. Take us through that first possession in overtime, and then we'll get to going for 2 here in a second.
With the first possession, all I was worried about was getting down to maybe the 2-yard line and just run the ball in, taking everything in as slow as you can and just moving the chains. But I believe we got held down. It was 3rd down. We ran a jet play. Mikey Menastra ended up getting hit hard on that. Then it was 4th down, and coach calls a good play that we ran a while. And we executed, and it paid off perfectly. We scored a touchdown. It was perfect.
Yeah, 4th and 5, you get the touchdown. So you go up 26-20. Then the conversation there, was there much conversation, or was it because you had an injured kicker, it made it easier to go for 2, or did you have to convince Trucker to go for 2? Take me through that as the quarterback.
I believe we were going to kick it. I believe we were, but I heard that Mikey was shaken up after the hit he took, and coach called the play that we've been working on since, I think, June of the summer. We've been working on that play for a long, long time, and we pulled through and we executed it perfectly.
Yeah, you get the 2-point conversion, so that puts you up 28-20 over Perry. So that forces them now, if they score, to go for 2 points, right? And indeed, they do score. So defensively, are you in the game on the 2-point conversion?
Yes, I was. I was playing role safety.
Okay, so as you're seeing that unfold, take me now through the opposite side, from the defensive side, looking at what they're trying to do on a 2-point conversion. And were you surprised that Perry, who runs the ball 99.9% of the time, tried to throw for the 2-point conversion?
Yeah, I was very surprised when they tried to throw. I was on the opposite side, so I didn't really see the breakup that Takai Wells had on the pass. But it was very surprising seeing their quarterback roll out to the right and throw the ball. I was 100% convinced it would be a run play.
So the emotions then, you're down 20-7 on the verge of getting blown out. You could have won it in regulation. You missed the extra point. You get the lead in overtime, and then you have to rely on your defense to stop a 2-point conversion. Take me through the roller coaster of emotions throughout the game, and then what you and your teammates were feeling like after finally beating Perry since, 2016, I think we said.
Yeah. It was shocking. It was very, very surreal. I still think I can't stop thinking about it. I still can't, because it's a big team like Perry. You don't expect to win. The underdogs don't expect to win, but we pulled through, we won, and at the end of the game, tears started coming, and I just melted down. It was so happy.
All right, so that's a great feeling. And again, you're our Sarchione Ford Player of the Week for what you did in that game. You were involved in all 4 touchdowns, and then the 2-point conversion. You take that in yourself. So you had a big impact on that game. But now, and I know Coach Linda Smith, who's standing somewhere in that room where we're doing this interview, he's thinking, okay, Perry's in the rear view mirror, right? We've got to now get ready for Norwayne this week. So how do you put those emotions that you just talked about and don't get too big-headed and get ready for this week's game against Norwayne?
We really just got to push it aside. It's a good win. It felt great, but now it's a revenge story. Norway knocked us out of the playoffs last year. It was a sad feeling, and they're back again, and they're a big team, physical, and I think we still have a great shot at beating them.
Does that help? I mean, knowing that they were the team that ended your season, so that'll help you forget about Perry maybe a little bit quicker because of what they did to you in the last game last year?
Yeah, I think it'll give us a lot more drive to beat them, more will, and just to take the win. It'll help a lot.
Trucker talked at the coaches get-together. I was in Portugal. I wasn't there live to see it, but I went back and watched it. He talked about the numbers that are up. and the players and this team. Do you feel this could be a very special team this year at Central with the numbers you have as well as the key players that made key plays in week one?
Yeah, I think this team we have is very, very special. We're very young. We have a young group of kids, and I think it can be very special in the end to just go through the season and see how well we can do.
Yeah, and more teams make the playoffs this year. That helps a small school like you, so that's always great. Huge computer points by beating Perry in week one. Norwayne, a big game coming up in week two. And Jack, congratulations on an outstanding start to your junior season, a big win over Perry. Good luck against Norwayne, and we'll talk to you down the road, all right?
All right, thank you so much.
Jack Talkington, our Sarchione Ford Player of the Week for week number one in high school football here on WHBC. We'll do this each and every week with our Player of the Week. So make sure you tune in to the Kenny and JT show to find out who that is, and you can watch it on our Facebook page as well. We'll get a break in right now. We'll come back with more of the Kenny